What's good, everybody? Welcome into the early Jordan Daily, and I do mean daily. We're here 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you. This is your sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, and there has never been a time that's more important for you to have a show like ours than right now, with COVID once again just ravaging the sports world. Let's look back at what we did last night. A really solid night here at the brand. Really solid props. A.J. Brown hit big, 11 catches, well over 100 yards, 145, and an anytime touchdown. He cashed that as well. So a really good day. Ryan Tannehill late in the game got the rushing prop. So let's do a little bit different. We want to do kind of news of the day because it's a very, very light sports day. Many of you in the chat are already saying that. So let's bring in the stars of the show right now and then get into it. Live from Nashville, Tennessee. Merry Christmas Eve to you, M Squared.
Yes, Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Good to see you. Going to be a fun show today. I know Jeweler's got something special for me that I didn't even know I could bet on, so I'm pretty excited about that one.
It's going to be great. Also, by the way, AB, 8 floors down, also live from Nashville, Tennessee. Can you explain to the people, AB, what Twitter Spaces is? Because Christmas Day, a very special episode. Me, M Squared, just the two of us chopping it up on Twitter Spaces. What the hell is that?
Yeah, Twitter Spaces. It's a kind of a somewhat new feature to where it's like an audio conversation that everyone can get involved in. So if you ever have any questions that you want to ask Mike, Coach, directly, it's essentially like you're on the phone with them, but it's over Twitter. So anybody can join for free. It's awesome. Like I'm telling you,
video too. Video.
Yeah, no, it's just audio, just audio. But,
okay.
Yeah, it's just audio, but it's really kind of intimate. Like in terms of you can ask anything you want. Boom, right there. So yeah, I everybody tune in. It's really, really cool.
All right, cool. That's going to be 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Me and Mikey on Twitter Spaces. Craig in the chat, I see you betting the over on beers I drink today. Oh, you're a Christmas Eve drinker. Okay. You're a Christmas Eve drinker. I have a feeling somebody had a couple drinks last night when his prop went a half a yard under cashing. And when Debo went down, I was scrambling. Did he get enough? And then he just started running passes. Maestro, good morning, sir.
What a rude welcome back to the show. I lose two showdowns with AB on my first week back, but I got to credit him for not trash talking, not rubbing it in. I really do respect that. And, 0-2, lose Debo by half a yard. That's gambling. That's what happens. Jimmy G misses a wide open touchdown. Jimmy G throws it to the other team twice. But that's why you bet the Titans, if you expect Jimmy G to fall apart. But it was good for me in terms of, the futures episodes that we have. I had Titans to make the playoffs, Titans to win the division. They just need to beat the Texans or the Dolphins. They already went over their win total of 9.5. Yeah. If they beat either the Texans or the Dolphins, they clinch the division.
I respect most of what you said right there. The part I don't is saying you respected AB for not trash talking the showdown. What the hell is that? All right, let's get into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And there's nothing really specific, but I wanted to talk to you three about how important it is for the people at home to really do their homework. And Mikey, I want to come to you because last night, a perfect example. A.J. Brown, he's been out hurt. The Titans offense has been stagnant. He comes back last night, and all of a sudden, the second half, they start opening it up. Right now, how important is it for people at home to really do their homework on who's playing, but more importantly, who's not playing?
Yeah, no, it's definitely important. Make sure you turn into all these shows will definitely help break them all down. But having player status is everything. Knowing, like we keep talking about the COVID stuff too, just knowing which players could potentially and definitely cannot land on COVID lists definitely has an impact on the betting lines, and just have to monitor all the practice reports too at this time of the year. And then the other thing is just looking ahead at certain schedules. Are there teams that are looking forward to bigger games next week, weaker opponents next week, weaker opponents this week? There's definitely a lot that you have to pay attention to at this time of the year in the NFL.
Maestro, let me come to you because when we look at diving deep and looking at numbers and there's so many different sports being played right now, college bowl game canceled today. How devastating is it for those players? But then you look at a game last night, UCF, They had all the motivation. It was sold out. The crowd was all Central Florida, and they cashed as a 7-point underdog. Another perfect example of knowing who's playing and who's motivated. Yes?
Yeah, and in the NFL, it's just getting, crazier and crazier. You got to check each day. You got to see if the teams that have outbreaks are having any further positive tests. If they have 2 straight days of no positive tests, then you can maybe anticipate some of these guys getting back. I know RJ made that exact point with him jumping on the Chiefs at 7.5. And there's line movement right now that's going on in the NFL with the game I'm going to talk about.
And AB, let me come to you, and then we'll get into our picks for the day, because you always have your pulse on little nuggets that are kind of lead us in a certain direction. The example that I used the other day, you said Titans in the first half, Steelers in the second. That's exactly what happened. How are you figuring out, with all this COVID issues, what to look for when you're doing your handicapping?
Yeah, so you definitely want to pay attention to that. You want to pay attention to the specific players, right? Like Mike talked about, and you did as well, in terms of A.J. Brown, how important a skill position player for Ryan Tannehill has been. He hasn't had any for 4 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. You look at a guy like Tyler Lockett. We talked about him with the Seahawks. He's legitimately 50% of their offense. If he's gone, you're out, right? I think another thing to pay attention to over the next couple of weeks in the NFL is that as we get closer to the playoffs, not only the COVID part, but you're going to have teams that are clinching. You're going to have teams that get in the playoffs. Say the Titans. If they beat the Dolphins, week 18, they play the Texans, okay? If they don't get the number 1 seed, you know what they can do? They can make week 18 a bye week to get healthy, right? So to pay attention to who's playing, who is not playing. Also, another thing, as we get these last 3 weeks of the NFL season, you're going to see teams both aggressively trying to get in the playoffs and teams that are way out. Watch the amount of 4th downs that they attempt instead of punting, because it really doesn't matter, or the season's on the line. And when you see many more 4th down attempts offensively, points go up like big time, right? So pay attention to that. Kind of note that as the weeks go. These are going to be crazy 3 weeks left in the NFL.
I got to be honest with you. This not kicking field goals thing is starting to drive me bananas, because over-bettors are now getting ticked off because you're talking 6, 9, 12 points sometimes that are coming off the board. By the way, shout out to you, AB. Thomas in the chat said, for the record, AB is undefeated against the chat. Covered last night. I almost won a free shirt 1 week on a punt prop. I tell you what, you keep throwing it out there and you keep beating the chat. I don't know if this is good for business, AB.
They'll have a shot one day.
All right, one day they might be able to beat you. All right, let's get into – yes, Mikey.
Another storyline. I'm going to get everyone in the chat because it got me on Twitter. Josh Allen tested positive for COVID-19. The Jaguars, Josh Allen, not the Bills.
Oh, you turkey. You turkey.
Got me.
You got me. Got me. Wow.
Yep. I had to pay it back since they got me on Twitter. But, yeah, still a big deal for Jags. Their pass rusher, Josh Allen, COVID list just now.
Yeah, that might be an opportunity that we look at on Sunday in our live noon show. And by the way, today he doesn't have an official pick. But, Mikey, I'm going to have you give out your teaser for tomorrow just because on Christmas Eve, I want to make myself feel good and give you the proper introduction. So, M squared, let's get it started. You know the drill. Son! Santa, where are you? Where are you? We need some help. Give it to me.
All right. I have a teaser for Christmas Day. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers -1, teased with the Indianapolis Colts, bringing them up to +7. This Packers game, I love when they get to play at home. They have that home field advantage at Lambeau, not only just with the crowd, the weather, everything there. It's a great spot for Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and co. I like them over the Browns. I know the Browns are more healthy. I don't really love the number against the spread, but I am pretty confident they come out with a victory here. And then the Indianapolis Colts, I love teasing them here up to a touchdown. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive game, mostly what we thought that Titans-49ers game last night was going to be, a one-score game on either side. And that's what it ended up being. I think we have the same thing here in this one on Christmas Day. So give me the Colts +7.
I love that play. In full disclosure, at 5:30 a.m. this morning, that's what time I get up every single day. I made that particular bet because I was like, oh, damn, I didn't put that in. And I know I don't want to be lectured about missing the numbers. You all know the important numbers. Mikey tells you all the time. By the way, Mikey, in the chat, Raz says, as a Bills fan, Mikey almost made me throw up. Kelsey says, Coach, you should dress up like Santa for us tomorrow. That's not going to happen. All right. AB, I know your one play today is a play that goes against our discussion we had on Thursday. So tell us what you got, big boy.
Yeah, we're going to go Kyler Murray over 26.5 rushing yards. They play tomorrow, Saturday, against the Colts. Look, the reason for it is this. It's a good game script because you have the Cardinals in essentially a must-win game at home on that quick turf against a team that where the score could be one score ahead or behind, and that leaves us in a really good position because Kyler will be, I'm not going to say desperate, but he will be aggressive to get the ball down the field however in the world he can do it. And if you look at Kyler Murray's stats, he's hit this number in 2 of his last 3 games. He's gone over 20-plus rushing yards in 3 of his last 4. So we're going to find Kyler in a really good spot, a little bit of a desperation spot, so to say. Take Kyler Murray over 26.5 rushing yards.
Okay. Very, very good. I don't mind that. 2 games, by the way, 2 NFL games on Saturday and a full slate of NBA games. We will have a morning show on Saturday, 10 a.m., AB and the boys, and then me and Mikey at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time to cover the entire Christmas day. All right. We have reached the end of the year almost, and a lot of things you guys are used to in the show. And I am actually thinking, Maestro, about renaming this spot and actually calling it by name. I'm working on it for the new year, but right now it is your spot, but you might actually have a name for it coming up in 2022. So, sir, it's your show. The floor is yours.
All right, well, I look forward to that. Right now, I look forward to getting back on track after that debacle last night for me personally against AB. I'm going to look at the Ravens and the Bengals. This line is ticking up to 3.5. The news came out again this morning. Unlikely for Lamar Jackson to play. We'll see if he tries to practice today on the ankle. Tyler Huntley played well, but it's obviously still a downgrade, and they have a lot of key guys on the COVID list. And Joe Burrow, I like the fact that he got snubbed by the Pro Bowl. I like the fact that the defensive coordinator for the Ravens says, we don't need to double Jamar Chase, who had 201 yards against you last time, 8 catches for 201 yards. He's no Devontae Adams. Well, doubling and tripling Devontae Adams didn't work anyway, so it's probably makes sense not to double him. But anyway, it's bulletin board material for the Bengals, who can basically take control of the division. I think they have all the advantages. The Ravens, when they blitz, and they might have to because they're so depleted in the secondary, Joe Burrow, number 1 against the blitz. This line is going up. I got it at -3, -115. And I also like Jamar Chase over 62.5 receiving yards. That's even money at Caesars. Now, since that game with 201, he's kind of been quiet. 6 of his last 7, he's gone under. But the targets are still there, averaging over 7 targets a game. I think this matchup, no Marlon Humphrey, the fact that he's potentially losing the Rookie of the Year battle and needs a big game here against this depleted Ravens secondary. Over 62.5. We're getting a good number on Jamar Chase to bounce back. Those are my 2 plays.
I love that Chick-fil-A nugget of the day on not double teaming Jamar Chase, because if you don't do that, it could be another 200-yard day, and this would feel like an absolute steal. By the way, Maestro, a lot of people in the chat are talking about the T-shirt that I don't even own yet. Can you kind of raise it up and show people? It's never too. There you go. Boy, that looks fantastic. And where can people get that at, Maestro?
I believe there's a link right on the show page.
I believe there is a link right on the show page. Get your early edge gear, because I can promise you this. In 2022, for those people who have something, T-shirt, sweatshirt, glass, pint glass, you will have a leg up on those that do not. That's all I'm going to say. You will have a leg up. We have big plans for next year. All right. We are up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the Oh, what? What is Dynamo Minsk? James Wade. I need. Oh, thank God. Jeweler, Merry Christmas Eve. You came out of nowhere. I had no idea. What is this?
Merry Christmas Eve, indeed. Unless you're in Belarus, where the predominant religion is Eastern Orthodoxy, and they don't celebrate Christmas until about the first week of January, which is why we're going to the Continental Hockey League. Dynamo Minx is hosting Beijing Red Star. This first pick, we're thinking Minx in regulation. It's more of a fade against Red Star because that team is absolutely awful. If you just go look up their past history, statistics, they're terrible. The chat also likes the over in this game, which I don't hate. You could also take Minx on the -1.5, which I don't hate. And then we're going to pair that up in the
chat likes the over.
The chat loves the over in this game. And then we're also going to pair that up with James Wade in the William Hill World's Darts Championship. That starts at 2:10 p.m. Eastern. He is taking on Vincent van der Voort, also known as the Dutch Destroyer.
Do you have the odds on that, Jacob?
So I think he's like a -167 favorite for James Wade. So we're going to pair that up with Minx, who's like a -250 something in regulation, which brings us to about +114. Stretching back from 2007 to 2019, these two have played 22 times. James Wade winning 17 of those times against the Dutchman. We're going to go with Dynamo Minx in regulation. Pair that up with James Wade and darts. +114. It should finish pretty early. Go get your Christmas shopping done if you need to.
I will say this with all the seriousness in the world. This is not a coin flip business, everybody. You got to do your homework. You got to dive deep, just like the jeweler did today on Christmas Eve. Put in the work. Belarus. Oh, my God.
That was unbelievable.
That really, really was. I believed everything that he said, and I don't even know if half of it was true.
I mean, he looked at the dart game log. He went through the game log for these dart guys.
Is this the same dude who did the perfect score? Is that the same dude who did the perfect score the other day that I saw? And then the crowd was going bananas, and he was holding his hands out like this, and I was like, this is crazy. But you have to hit like 3 perfect shots. This might be the guy. I don't know. But here's what we're going to do because it's so obscure. And we love all of you at home. If this hits, if the gym hits tonight, then tomorrow we will put a one-time code for a year-long membership to SportsLine into the chat. First come, first serve. All right, the rest of the recap. AB, Kyler Murray over 26.5 rush yards. That game is on Saturday, Christmas Day. And then the Maestro 2 plays today. Bengals -3. And Jamar Chase, how do you not double team him? We'll see. Over 62.5 receiving yards. Then, of course, the Jeweler's Gym is certainly a gym today. All right, don't forget, 2 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be live right here on this YouTube channel with our NFL Props Special with Prop Stars, who last night we sent him right to bed because he is under the weather, but he will be live today. Also, his article now comes out on Saturday. For those of you who love that article, I encourage you to watch the prop shows live today because the numbers move just as soon as we give them out. All right? Damn it, I love all you people at home. We've had an incredible year. Let's enjoy the day, pay it forward, be kind to your families, and just enjoy the day. There's one thing left to do, and you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Maestro, M-Squared, Dial-Up, and our executive producer, always working despite also being very sick. Give him his props to the jeweler. Oh, my entire team. If you're watching at home, we love you all, and let's get set for a brand new great year in 2022, but yet still 7 days left right here on the Early Edge. Good luck.